gambling goose cast. It's the gambling goose cast. It's the gambling goose cast. It's the gambling goose cast. If you're a sports fan and wanna bet, this is the right place. Just write your picks on the internet, and I'll put them all together in one parlay. Put it in the books, yeah.
Welcome to episode 75 of the Gambling Goosecast, brought to you by the Hangover Network. It's been a few weeks since I recorded one of these. There's just not that much to bet on. But this weekend there is UFC 238. It's a pretty big card. 2 championship fights. Two top lightweight contenders. Couldn't ask for more. But first, let's recap. Well, not every bet, but let's see what our record is now. Our single bet record is 148, 184, and 7. And we are up $364.09. And our parlay record is 6 and 107. We are down $1,522.05. Most of those bets were the PGA Championship, where we didn't get one bet right. And the UFC, where Kevin Lee fought Dos Anjos, where we only got one right. And Deontay Wilder murdering Dominique Breazeale by KO. But yeah, we didn't do too hot. So let's change that. Bad beats are over. Winning season is in. All right, UFC 238. Let's get to the bets. All right. The first fight we are betting on is going to be Pedro Munoz versus Aljamain Sterling. Sterling is a favorite here at minus 135, going against Munoz, who is plus 105. This is a great fight between two of the top contenders in the bantamweight division. Sterling is on a 3-fight win streak, with his last victory being a unanimous decision over Jimmy Rivera. And Munoz is also on a 3-fight win streak, with his last victory being a knockout over Cody Garbrandt. The winner of this will be in serious contention for a title shot, and I'm picking Munoz. He has an aggressive style where he'll smother you. Sterling likes to pick you apart from the outside. That works, but it only takes one guy. It only takes a guy like Munoz one shot to end your night. So put in the books Pedro Munoz plus 105. Next up, we have Calvin Kattar versus Ricardo Lamas. Kattar is a favorite at minus 155 against Lamas, who is plus 125. Kattar is 3-1 in the UFC, with his only loss being against top 5 featherweight contender Renato Moicano. He's starting to make a name for himself in the featherweight division. Lamas has had 15 fights in the UFC at featherweight. He's had ups and downs in his career for sure. Since his loss to Jose Aldo back in 2014, he hasn't been able to have a winning streak more than 2. But I'm still picking him. He looked outstanding in his last fight against Darren Elkins, winning by 3rd round TKO. And he's also fighting in his hometown of Chicago. So the fans will definitely be on his side. Put in the books Ricardo Lamas plus 125. Next up, we have women's flyweight fight, Tatiana Suarez versus Nina Ansaroff. Suarez is a heavy favorite at minus 850 against Ansaroff, who is plus 525. Suarez is the heavy favorite on this fight for a reason. With a record of 4-0 in the UFC, she's been considered the next prodigy in women's flyweight. But I do smell an upset here. Since starting 0-2 in the UFC, Ansaroff has racked up 4 wins, with the last being against former title contender Claudia Gadelha. She's definitely no joke. and she could easily win this fight. Put in the books, Nina Ansaroff, plus 525. Next up, we have Tai Tuivasa versus Blagoy Ivanov for a heavyweight fight. Tuivasa is minus 140 favorite against Ivanov, who is plus 110. Tuivasa is just one crazy Australian with a heavy punch. He's 3-1 in the UFC with 2 KOs, and his only loss was against Junior Dos Santos, a former champ. He's going against Blagoy Ivanov, a man with a background in Russian Sambo and a black belt in Judo. He has a record of 1-1 in the UFC with his only loss going against JDS also. It should be a good fight for 2 heavyweight prospects to crack into the top 10, and I'm taking Tai. I think he's going to win by a devastating KO, but I'm only betting for him to win. He just has too much on the line. His last fight, he looks good against JDS too, and couldn't finish it though. Put in the books, Tai Tuivasa minus 140. Next up, we have my favorite fight of the night, Donald Cerrone versus Tony Ferguson. Ferguson is the favorite at minus 155 against Cerrone, who is plus 125. This is 2 guys that come forward and fight toe-to-toe with no fucks given. Cerrone has had a career resurgence at lightweight, winning his last 2 fights, with the last one being against former top 5 lightweight at the time, Ally Quinta. Ferguson hasn't fought since last October, where he beat Anthony Pettis by corner stoppage, but he's 14-1 in the UFC, and his only loss was back in 2012 against Michael Johnson. So he hasn't lost in, 7 years. The man is phenomenal. But I am picking Cowboy here. Picking the underdog again. Styles make fights, and I think this is a perfect fight for Cerrone. The unorthodox fighting of Ferguson, where he, rolls around, throws elbows out of nowhere. I think Cerrone is just going to pick him apart from the outside. And if it goes to the ground, they're both really good. They could easily submit each other, but I think Cerrone wins here. Put in the books, down Cerrone plus 125. And finally, the main event, we have Marlon Moraes versus Henry Cejudo for the vacant bantamweight championship. Moraes is the favorite here at minus 130 against Cejudo, who has even odds. This fight is happening because of TJ Dillashaw pissing hot for EPO. Way to go, buddy. Cejudo is moving up from flyweight to become a 2-belt holder. He's a very good fighter, but he loves to tell you how good he is. And we get it, Henry. You're an Olympic gold medalist in wrestling. No one gives a fuck. He's facing Marlon Moraes, a very dangerous man with great knockout power. He's finished his last 2 out of his last 2 of his 3 opponents by first round knockout. I think his takedown defense and his size, speed, and power will keep this fight standing, and he will win. Probably by knockout. But we're just betting for him to win. Put in the books, Marlon Moraes, minus 130. Well, there you have it. We got Pedro Munoz plus 105, 100 to win 105. Ricardo Lamas plus 125, 100 to win 125. Nina Ansaroff plus 525, 100 to win 525. Tai Tuivasa minus 140, 100 to win 71.43. Donald Cerrone plus 125, 100 to win 125. And Marlon Moraes minus 130, 100 to win 76.92. We bet 25 to win $4,893.20. That's it for today. If you want to download this, you know where to get it. I've said it a million times. Well, I've actually said it 74 times. Let's make it 75. You can get it on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Put in the books, have a good weekend, and win some fucking money.